What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're working on one of my buddy's L5P trucks that came in with a fuel system issue. Now I have no idea what it's been recently, but I've been having a lot of trucks with fuel system issues. Now I got the rock lights on just for the time being. I want to talk about some other little things that it's in for that we'll be working on. But getting back into the point of the video is that this truck has a fuel system issue that I believe I already diagnosed. I didn't really film the diagnostic process because it was kind of a long, strenuous diagnosis process on this truck yet again because it's a super intermittent problem. Now this truck runs perfectly fine 100% of the time other than when it's below a quarter tank of fuel. When you get below a quarter tank of fuel, the truck literally starts popping, has no power at all, and when you data log it, the truck goes into limp mode and says engine power reduced. When I scanned it, it said high pressure fuel system malfunction, which is nice. HP tuners will tell you what's wrong with the truck, but they won't tell you exactly what to look at. So this truck has a upgraded turbo on it. It has a fixed vane 369, and it looks stock in there. You can't really see from here, but it kind of retains the factory location. But this truck does have a Fass 220 pump on there, and I believe I narrowed it down to this pump being the problem. So, like I said, it runs perfectly fine when it's got a full tank of fuel, but when it gets below a quarter, it starts popping, doing all this stuff. So, I believe that when the Fass was installed, whoever put the straw in and all that stuff in the tank when they dropped it, didn't do it properly. Now, the truck ran, I believe, for like 10,000-15,000 miles without having this problem, and just recently developed this. So I don't know if the straw in the tank moved, fell off, or did something wonky in there. But how we're gonna fix this problem is we're gonna do a sump install on the truck. So basically what we're gonna do is come down over in here. We're gonna drill the lowest point of the fuel tank right in here, and we're gonna get all the lines and stuff properly installed, get it all clean looking. I already did put 2 brand new Fass filters on here. That's the first thing you always want to do, is start with the easiest thing first, and that is changing the filters out. With the filters changed, it's doing the exact same thing. So, like I said, I always try to start with the easiest stuff, but in this case, I believe I got it narrowed down. But a couple of the little things I want to talk about is that it's in kind of for a host of other little problems with it. Not really problems, but just stuff that needs to be cleaned up. For one, I believe it was 1, 3, and 5 glow plugs. I already put 1, 3, and 5 in, but the next thing is that's going to be kind of a time-consuming process is cleaning up this rat's nest of wires for the rock lights. So as you can see, all this is literally just rock lights. It literally looks like complete crap. So we got to get that cleaned up. We also did a WC Fab coolant tank because this truck is a 17 and 19, and these trucks do have a ton of issues with low coolant. The truck doesn't actually have low coolant. The sensors in the tank are just bad. This truck does have 130,000 miles on it. It's in super great shape, but it was getting the dreaded low coolant message. So we got the new WC Fab tank installed in here. I didn't really talk about it because I already made a video a while ago about installing it, so I'm just talking about the stuff we got installed. So got this installed. We got to get this cleaned up. A couple of little things on this that we got to get cleaned up is like all this wiring, because the frame was totally sandblasted. As you can see in here, it's not that crappy GM wax. It's been fully sandblasted, cleaned up, and has a different type of frame coating on here, which looks really nice. But when the frame got coated, as you can see, like all these wires and here are just floating around, poorly zip tied, stuff not cut like this. So we're gonna work on getting this cleaned up as it should, because you have this nice powder coating with a zip tie that's not cut. Back over here in the back, we're gonna do the same thing. It has wheel lights, if you can see in there, and the wire again is really crappy installed. So we're just be cleaning up all this little stuff. A couple other things up here. Getting back to the front of the truck, redoing a new ball joint. As you can see, it kind of looks like it exploded. I'm not entirely sure if the boot was overfilled. I'm sure running the 14 wide tires did not help, but as you can see, it kind of exploded all over the place in there. We're going to clean the king shocks up. They've been on here for some time and they look really crappy. So we're gonna take those off, give them a good hand polish, clean those up the best we can. Then the final thing is the wheel liner. So a lot of times when people install these, I don't understand why they don't do the quick disconnect fittings on there. So basically when you drop it, there's a clip, you can just, you know, disconnect it. This truck was a pain when I was trying to do the glow plugs in it, because there's literally like 2 inches of wire, so when you drop the fender liner, there's nowhere to work on. On the back of the truck, I do not think I'm going to do that, because a lot of times you're not doing really any type of work back there. You can just add some extra wire to drop it in case you got to work on it, but it's going to be nothing crazy back there. Now on the front of the truck, on the other hand, a lot of times you're always pulling the fender liners in and out, especially if you're working on it, doing your own maintenance. These come in and out, so it'd be nice to do a little quick disconnect on there, fix all the wiring issues, as you can see, like in there. And here, like all this stuff, when the frame was coated, it was not properly installed. So just gonna work on cleaning up a lot of the basic little stuff, clean all this up. Lost the covers for the batteries, so we're gonna get a new one there. New one here. The truck did have amp steps at one point, which are not, you know, no longer here. This is all the Fass wiring here, I assume. Looks like complete dog crap. So just fixing up a lot of the little stuff. So basically that's about it. I just want to inform you guys on what I was working on this week. Like I said, diagnosing the fuel system problem wasn't really anything to record. I just spent hours trying to drive the truck, drain the fuel out, and make the problem occur, log it, see what's going on. Finally figured that out, but it wasn't really too much content to record. Now I'm just gonna talk about, you know, fixing the problem, which would be putting a sump on the truck. And I never made a video doing a sump on these because these trucks do have a factory lift pump. Now, one more thing I want to talk about before I end this video is, I see a lot of companies coming out with upgraded lift pumps for these trucks, WC Fab and a couple other companies. Now, I've never seen a truck have a lift pump failure. A lot of times it's like something like this that was not installed properly, or lack of maintenance, changing the filters and stuff like that, making the pumps fail. Now, it's unfortunate because with this industry, people come out with products, try to push them to make money. Now, like I said, I don't think it's worth the money. This truck did plan on getting more power added, so that's why the Fass 220 was done, because it does have the 300 series turbo, and it's planning on getting 100% over injectors at some point. So that's why that's done. But if you're not doing all these mods, there's no need to upgrade the factory filter, housing, and all that types of stuff. But I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that. So if you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe. If you like this video, be sure to leave it a big thumbs up. Make sure to stay tuned until next week when we get this sump installed for the Fass. But until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Stop this conversation. We got no